So the few things that I'm going to discuss from manual testing is I'm going to bring here. I hope you can see my screen now. So there is a comparative view that we are going to look at some diagrams to see that how the waterfall versus agile software development methodology goes on. Waterfall again is a rigid process where things are, you can say that once all the dates are written in stone, that means things are like the plan that is made for the software development is pretty straightforward, and things are difficult to change. But in agile development methodology, it is a agile means like it is flexible. Okay, so we'll take a look at a few diagrams in waterfall methodology. If you take a look here in waterfall methodology, right, you see that again the same diagram we saw, that it goes like waterfall downwards, requirements, and then they do the design, and then implementation, testing happens, and then it goes for production where maintenance happens. And then in agile, you see it's a circular. We divide the work in sprints, and then every sprint keep keep going, and finally once everything is done, it goes for deployment.
The automobile like iterative agile methodology.
Yeah, the iterative agile and agile is similar. So what happens, the iteration, right, remember this word iteration. What does this mean? Iteration in software development, or in when you will learn looping, right, you will see that iteration means that it will be, let's say when when we have developed the requirements, right, when one phase is done, we talk about 100 requirements, right, out of 100 requirements, when 28 requirements are done, if we develop it in 5 sprints, that means one batch of requirements, that is 20 requirements, once it is done, then we say okay, one iteration is done. And then when you go for the next 20, then we say okay, next iteration has started. When that one is done, next iteration is done. That means
Okay.
iteration means one time going through the phase, the software development phase, one time. And the next iteration will be doing the same thing. We'll be develop, we'll be testing, and then we'll be taking feedback, and then that iteration will be done. The same way, it will be like to complete 100 requirements, we'll need 5 iterations. If we do 20 iteration, 20 requirements at a time. Okay, so this is one of the picture that I'll be sending you the documents, and then let's take a look here. So agile methodology, as you said, like sprint, can you see sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, same thing happens, right? uh, Design, uh, plan, right? Uh, so can you see, start from here, plan, design, build, and again in sprint 2 again, with new set of requirements, plan, design, build, test, review, and then third iteration again same thing. And then once all of the iterations are done, the software goes for production. Launch means the software is going for production. Okay, so same thing, the same processes we do iteration by iteration. Every time we develop new things, okay, new things, add new things to the feature, to the development. And then if I bring the next one, you will see a comparative view again. Again in the agile methodology, it keeps going the same: requirements, plan, design, develop, release, and track and monitor, and then it happens. And in the waterfall, it goes step by step. And then if you take a look, some of the bullet point that you will be knowing, like if in the interview, or if someone asks you, okay, what are the key features in agile and waterfall? It is continuous cycle, small high functioning collaborative teams in agile methodology, right? What happens, small teams, but they are pretty busy, and then they do a lot of collaborative works, right? And then multiple methodologies, flexible continuous evaluation, right? Flexible continuous evaluation means continuously it is changing, and customers are involved a lot in this agile method.
The document you send us,
No, I'm going to send these documents.
key feature like the things for correction.
Yeah.
easy to understand.
Yeah, sure. And then in the waterfall methodology, if you take a look, sequential, it is sequential. It is like once requirements are done, then designing work will be started, implementation will be going on, and then testing will happen, right? It is sequential, linear stages. Upfront planning, everything is upfront. You plan and then you go for the next phase, right? And then there are a lot of documentation needed in waterfall, but in agile you'll see a lot of meetings, but documentation wise there will be fewer documentation. Lot of talking in agile, but in waterfall lot of documentation. And then best for simple unchanged projects. Can you see unchanged projects? If the projects are changing, waterfall is not suitable for them. Close project manager involvement. So the project manager will have to keep an sharp eye so that things are moving forward in the right direction, because once the requirements are finalized, they will not be modifying the requirements. So manager will have to make sure that things are done correctly, so that in the future they do not have to modify anything. If I go to the next one, I'll be coming to that case study, but there is another comparative view here. In waterfall it goes right, a single phase: plan, analysis, design, build, test, correction, test, and deploy. And in agile what happened? Analysis, plan, and then designing and building, and then analysis, testing happens, right? And then same thing we do again, and same thing we do again, same thing we do again, however many times it needs, and then finally the software goes for production. Got it? Make sense? Okay. So here this case study, take a look, both of you. Read it, and once you are done reading, let me know.
Every company has this website and employee.
Mm-hmm.
This multiple software from develop. They have to be a developer, two developers, and two testers.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see, talking about a situation, right? Write your answer regarding who will do what to get the job done, right? ABC LLC needs a website. It has employees, employee X and employee Y. So this ABC LLC, they need a software. They have two employees, employee X and employee Y. Let's say multi-tech incorporation software firms develop which softwares, right? It has the following employees: business analyst, team and joy, and developers dev X and dev Y, and testers QA X and QA Y. Okay, so what, who will do what in this case? BAs, what will they do?
Business analyst.
They're going to gather all the information, requirements.
Right. So BAs will be gathering all of the requirements, documenting it, right? From where?
They were gathered from the company, ABC company, ABC LLC.
Mm-hmm. So let's say
And
that.
then,
Okay, go ahead. So in ABC LLC, right? So Team and J, who are business analysts, they will be getting in touch with employee X and employee Y from ABC LLC, right? There will be employee X and employee Y will working with BAs, Team and Joy from Multitech, and they will be gathering the requirements, right? Then after gathering the requirement, they will be preparing requirement document, functional requirement document, and use cases. And these use cases, then what is the contribution from developers and testers? What will they do?
Is I say just once the team enjoy collect down the requirement, and they make it all the centers are functional
Sharmin, you want to add anything?
Um,
Also, the PA people make the use case
Yeah, the BA people make the functional requirement document use case.
use case. Okay.
We will be discussing a little bit about use cases today, but so BAs, when they are done with their documentation, this documentation goes to two types of people and the testers team, right? The developers, what they do, they do their design and development work, but QA people, what they do?
Quick question, Tanmay. Developers. So I heard that developer people like they expert with the Java. That's why they code and stuff. So we learn also like a Java. So is there like same related? They have a more skill on Java or where we learn in the Java like whatever we learn. It's like related everything, pretty much. Just want to know.
Yeah, sure. I'll be answering this question. So developers, yeah, go ahead, Shamin.
sorry, I was going to add to, you asked what do QA, what do they do? So they write test cases and test plans as well. They find defects on the software. And I believe they reported back to software team if they find any bugs in the system.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. So while developers will be doing the development, the QA people, they prepare their test plan and test cases. They make their test plan, and once development people are done with the development, then in the meantime QA people are done making the documentation, like how they will be testing this software by making the test plan and test cases. So once development people are done with the development, depending on how they what development methodology they follow, the QA people do their testing because they have already written their test plan, they have make their test cases, right? Based on that, they will be doing the testing once the software is developed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here, to answer your question, Navid, development people, the development happens not only in Java. There are many development process. There are many development languages. Sometimes the development will be happening using Java. Sometimes the development will be happening .NET. There are so many things. There are PHP to develop websites. There are so many technologies based on what technology they use, guys. So they use it. Let's say if they develop using Java, for example, right? Then yeah, definitely they will have more knowledge on Java than us. But QA people, we also will be using Java for testing. So for the development people, they do development using Java, but their Java technology, they are doing it in a, they know Java more than us. They know the they have different frameworks that they will be using to develop the software. But we also know, we also will be learning Java, and we will be testing using Java. But our Java is a little bit different than theirs. So our Java learning will be focusing on testing so that we can do the testing. Their Java is so that they can do the development. It is like in Java, there are so many technologies. So they are using the development technologies in Java. We are using Java for testing technology. We are using Java for testing technology. So it starts with core Java, right? So core Java is same for both developers and testers, core Java. But for testers, we do not learn that much advanced, but we learn that much Java that is required for testing. And the technology that we are going to in Java, right? If you want to do testing, there are different tools. We are using Selenium. We will be driving Selenium by Java. So the core Java that is common for both, they are using core Java and they are using advanced Java to do the development. We are using core Java and testing technologies to do the testing. Is it clear?
And I have one quick question here, like the PA and the like the testing. So I know you said the functional requirement document sent to the BA people.
No,
What's the
no. So from the from the business requirement people, right? They 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 develop the
FRD?
they develop the FRD. So they gather the requirements, and from the requirements they explain the requirements a little bit more with all of the details. That is what we are calling functional requirement document. The BA prepares.
I just mix up, yeah. FRD, so I said FRD, but when they get FRD, they get FRD and sent to the developer team.
And tester team.
Tested. So both start like the developer, then they start their coding. Also the tester same time they start testing, start writing the test plan at the same time.
Same time. Same time. And by the time the developers will be done with development, the testers will be ready with test plan and test cases so that they can start the testing.
Same time, the developers start writing their code, and same time the tester writing their test case.
Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so any further question on this?
Reader, just to see if I did understand it entirely. So ABC is a company who had reached out to Multi-Tank Inc. And Multi-Tank Inc. is going to reach out to, not Multi-Tank, but in Multi-Tank, Team and J works who are business analysts, and they will reach out to developers and testers. So, and then developers is going to fulfill or come up with a software or a website that ABC has asked for. And then they will forward it to the testers. They're done testing. If they did find bugs, it will go back to developers. If not, they are going to send it to dev environment?
Production.
Okay, so production, okay. And then
pre-production. So if all of the bugs are fixed, then the software goes for the pre-production environment.
User comes to test, like the ABC company comes to test there, make sure everything is good.
Okay. So after the pre-production, it will be
it will be going to the production for ABC company to use.
But the pre-production environment, some of the ABC company people come to test the software, maybe while like checking is everything is good.
So if everything is, yeah. So pre-production. So we call it sometimes UAT, user acceptance testing, right? UAT environment where people from ABC company, they will be testing if the software is built according to their expectation. Okay. All right. So this is the case study that I wanted to discuss, and then let me go to the last document that I want to discuss regarding the manual testing. So if you take a look at this, remember that the business analyst people, right? They prepare use cases. Okay. Now remember this word use cases. In the interview, a lot of people might be asking you, okay, what do you know about use cases? So again, use cases are documents that is being prepared by business analyst, and use case basically is a pictorial view of the requirements to explain the requirement a little bit in graphical format, right? We use case, and in use case, right, in use case, basically if you want to define use case, what is use case? Use cases are diagram or designs where users interactions, which, like, use cases are documents which describes users interactions and system response. Okay, let me read it again. Use cases are documents that describes users interaction and systems response. You got it? So users interactions and systems. If I want to give you an example, right?
Make sure recording this section.
Yeah, I'm recording. So if I want to give an example, I'll be asking you, okay, write an use case for ATM system. Okay, ATM system. So in ATM systems, who are the users? We are the users, right? Whoever the employee, whoever the customer of the banks, they are the user. And what is the system? The software that ATM is using is the system. So if I ask you, okay, uh, write a use case, then what will be the situation? So user goes to the ATM, right? So one of the user's interaction is user input their debit card or credit card, right? And then, so this is user's action. User input their debit card or credit card. And then what happens? System does something. Remember, user is doing an action, and then in response, system is doing another action. So user is inputting his debit or credit card, and system does something. What does the system do? The system asks for pin code, right? Is that correct? Okay. And then user does another action. What is that? User input their pin. And once user has input their pin and submitted it, the system does another thing. What is that? The system verify if the user ID, if the pin code is correct. If the pin code is not correct, the system will respond, okay, the pin is not correct, right? And if the pin is correct, then what happens? The system will give you, okay, that is what the operations that you can do. You can view your balance, you can withdraw money, you can deposit money. So system response, if the password is correct, the system response with these are the options available: deposit check, deposit cash, withdraw money, right? And then user selects, okay, I want to check balance. So user take another action. Then what does the system does? System shows you the balance. So in the so to make it simplified, in use cases we present it in a user action and system response format. Sometimes we present it in a graphical format. Sometimes we present it in a way that user does something, system does something, and then user does something, system does something. That's how we write use cases. Is it clear?
Cases, user action and system response.
Yeah, use cases describes user actions and system responses. Okay, now let's take a look, a graphical view of a use case. Now let's say that here we are giving an example regarding the Mercury login. So what happens? User login page. This is the name of the use case. So there will be a format like user will be. So if I ask you, okay, can you write a use case for login page? So what will happen? User will be opening the browser. The login page will be, the system will be giving the login page, and then the user will be inputting the username and password and will click on login, and the system will verify the user ID and password. If the user ID and password is not correct, system will display appropriate message. If the user ID and password is correct, the system will be displaying what? The user's information. So if I want to summarize, right, what is use case? Use cases are basically the user action and system response. If you take a look here, user, can you see user action, system response, right? User action the user go to the website, login button, the system opens a new window asking the user to input the user ID and password, right? Can you see user is doing an action, in response system is doing something. And then if you validation, when the user enters the user ID, the system should allow to type the user ID. The user should be allowed to type in the password. When the user enters the correct user ID but wrong password, then the system will display an error message saying that password entered is incorrect. And then um, in the login process, right? This information, the user does something and system validates something. Based on your answer might be different, but when user clicks on, like when the login is done, when user clicks on logout button, the system will be logging him out from the system. Is it clear? What we do in use cases, right? We put, okay, step now, and then user action. I have written it in that way. You may write, okay, user action, open browser, system user open browser, system will be presenting the login screen, and then user take another action, user input user ID and password, click login button, and then system response will be, if the user ID is correct, the system will be allowing the user to log in. If the user ID and password is incorrect, the system will be saying, okay, user ID and password is not correct, right?
So these things is basically once we build the software, like, so once we like pretty much done everything, make sure everything is uh, the following the use case as far as the requirement said over there, like number one, to log in, make sure you click the button, make sure we put in everything on the system case for use case.
So use case, again, before the software development happens, then the use case is to understand the requirements. Like as you can see, it is more granular. Understand the requirements a little bit more by use cases. Whatever need to be done, right, it is more clearly described in the use cases.
It's like more visual, like I can see,
Yeah,
I can click on it, go to the next page, and there's password counts. Things like more. Okay.
visual, and also like transactional, right? Transactional, what user does, what system does. Okay, that is what use cases are. All right, I'll be sending you this document. Now, do you have any question, any of you, regarding use cases? Any further question? Okay, so I'll be I'll be asking you to write a use case in your language. I'll be giving you a situation where I'll be asking, hey, can you write a use case for that situation? Right? All right. So now I'll be the last week's document. Did I send you any other documents? I send you a sample test case. So we will be discussing details of test cases later. I wanted you to take a look at this sample test case, and also I think I have discussed this application architecture. Right? You were able to go through this application architecture. Is that correct? This application architecture document. Remember that I a diagram, like how this computer application works. If you
Yes, you did.
like if you are a Gmail users, you input the user ID and password, and this goes to, when you submit your login, then there are Google servers, right, which are running the Gmail system. They have the program running, and from this application server, this user ID and goes to, they send it to the database server, where they make sure that the user ID and password is correct. It is, if it is correct, the application servers define, okay, this user ID and password is correct, and then you are able to go to the your Gmail homepage. So here, do you understand what is the
database server.
What is the database server does? What is the functionality of database in the computer application? And like how this database server, the Oracle thing that you are learning, right? What is what is the what is this functionality in software development? I described a little bit, so you understand this, right? Okay, very good. So this is important that you understand. Okay, why we are learning Oracle, right? As a tester, why you need to learn Oracle. So we do backend testing. The data that we are seeing in the website, right, is coming from database. So we take the data from the front end, from the website, and we write queries in the database to see that if the data is matching with the database. That is what we do in backend testing. That's why we are learning queries and we are learning how what is table, what is record.
In a one question, like if like they ask question like why we use like database like SQL.
Mhm.
In a word, we can say what we say like that.
As a tester, we need to make sure that the data being displayed in the front end is correct. So we take data from front end and we execute queries in the database to make sure that the data that we are seeing in the front end is matching with the back end. So basically, we do backend testing, and for that backend testing, we are using Oracle, or we use SQL. Okay, all right. So yeah, so I already have sent you these documents last week, and if you haven't look through it, and let me know if you have any question. And then I think I sent you this software testing lifecycle document as well, right? Yeah. So this document, if you have any question, let me know. I sent you a sample test case. So this sample test case, again, I will be discussing further on sample test case, but for now, just uh, see like if you have any question or if you have anything, but we are going to have many discussions on test cases. Okay, all right. So then let's go back to the Oracle part. Now, Naved, you have sent your homeworks, and Sharmin, you will be sending your homework since you have your database ready now. But for today, for today, we are going to do a little bit thing regarding database. So if you take a look here in class, so I sent you these documents, this Oracle soft copy document where you will see that different theories are listed. What is management system, what is transaction control language, what is data manipulation command. So you will see those theories, you will be going through those theories. And then here today, this one, right? This one you already sent me the homework, Nabet. Sharmin, you will be sending this document. I already sent it to you. The next thing today we are going to discuss is this document. So in this document, it is a little bit advanced than what we did in the last class. But the first thing, remember in database, right? We create table, and inside the table we input data, and then we execute queries to retrieve data from the database. Now, when we have discussed like how to create table, we have written create table statement, and then we have discussed varchar to data type, and then date data type, and then numeric data type, right? So if you take a look for this, like in this table, what is the name of the table? Friend, right? And how many column we have here? What are the columns name?
Friend address, friend phone number, friend email.
Friend email. And how many records we have in this table? 4 records: John, Don, Limon, and Karim. We have these 4 records in this table. Now, if I ask you, okay, what will I call this? This is a field, This is a field. If I ask you, what is this? The whole thing. This is a record. What is this? This is a record. What is this? This is a record. Now, if I ask you, what is this? This is a field. So field are the fields are the part of record. In a database table, we might have multiple records, but each of the records will have different fields. And what is this? This is the column header. This is not a record, remember.
Bothering Bangladesh law.
Yeah, I was following too. I was seeing, but it is difficult to play there. That's fine. Take it easy, okay? So here, if I ask you to create this table, what will be the data type for this friend name?
Data type, Barchart2.
Barchart2. And what will be the size?
Probably like the 5.
10. Let's say 10. You do not give too much. I know that name can have first name, last name, middle name, but this black screen is not very convenient to view. So I will, like, whenever I am asking you to create a table, do not make this field too much big. However many you require, you put, that is the size. Let's say for this one, the maximum character you will need Karim, 5 characters, right? You keep like 7 characters, not more than. And then friend address. What will be the data type for this? Barchart2. And what is the maximum? Probably you put 1, 2, 3. Remember, this is space. This space is a character. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You put 15 or 12. Maximum you need 11, but you might want to put 12, 30. And then what will be the data type for this? For this number, Sharmin, what will be the data type for this?
I guess it would be numbers.
So, can you see this? This one, is it a number?
It's not character.
It's a character. It is not a number. So if you see this, you'll have to include this one in the data. So if you see anything other than number, then you will have to define it as a alphanumeric. Barchart2. Okay. And what is the data type for this?
Or email. This is the email, I think.
Barchart2. Let's say if I ask you to create this table, what will be the data type for this? Number, because it doesn't have any character. Now, if I ask you, hey, can you create this table? Will you be able to write queries so that you can create this table? Create table, do you know how to write syntax for creating table?
I'm not going to say entirely know it, Bhaiya, but pretty sure I'll be able to.
And can you both create this table? I'll be, first you create it, and then I'll be going through. I'm giving you like 4 or 5 minutes. Take your time, create this table. Make sure that these field names you put correct field name. Create this table. Let me send you this document so that you can look at and create this table. Just give me a minute. I'm going to send you this document. Okay, I think this is the class. I'm going to reply here. Reply on QA class, and then I'll be putting its subject, and then I'll be putting QA class and QA class 2, and then DB and something like this. So all of you have, I'm going to send both of these document since you will have to do your homework. So you open this SQL2 document and create the first table. All right, so can I take, let's say, by 5 minutes from now, I'll be back and I'll see like where you are. If that sounds good. Recording. And who wants to show like what you have done?
Okay.
Mhm.
So this is my table condition.
Mhm.
So I mistake here.
Are you sharing? Are you sharing?
Yes, I will be.
Yeah, okay. So can you bring your SQL window? I see your the text. One second, one second. Let me go there. Yeah, I see. Okay. So can you show me from the beginning like what you have put there?
Okay, so I create a table here.
Mm-hmm.
I think a long time ago I create this table. That's why I just saying like
Yeah, got it.
table is already exist, So I just drop the table.
Mhm.
I want this name. Then I create and table created. Like one print name, budget two, print address, print phone number, budget two, print email, budget two,
Mhm.
and then I start inside job first table.
Mhm.
The second one I just is all row created.
Mhm.
The third one because I put the arrow key and I just changing the thing, but
Mhm.
there's things that I forget to change the R third.
Okay.
I put E and D.
Mhm.
Last thing I realized like later when I put the last one, and then I it's the table already here. Select start from table and it's the table.
Okay, got it. So today we will learn an update statement. Like if you have a situation like this, uh, that the address that we have in the third record is incorrect. So we'll learn how you can update this data. Okay, so that's fine. Now, Sharmin, you want to share your screen to show me like what you did?
I actually don't have much idea to share.
Uh-huh.
Table I haven't created because I'm still confused. I don't really have anything. Trying to work my way around.
Got it, got it. So, but were you able to write the create table statement?
I wrote it. It was wrong, so I crossed it and then I started again.
Okay, you can share and let's take a look if we can help you.
I don't have anything to share right now.
So what I want to see, like if you have a mistake, what is that mistake? If I can see that.
So when I wrote that row,
Mhm.
hold on.
Let me stop my sharing so.
So what I was going to show to you.
Mhm.
Hold on. So I was going to show once I did the login, I did write that the way I had it written was sorry, just a moment.
Sure.
It was create table friend, and then next to it I wrote friend's name,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wrote Archer 2
Mm-hmm.
because since it's not numbers and names,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Are you sharing?
this is the shared screen that I have. I actually don't have anything anything. I just saved it and then have that. And then with a comma, I wrote friend's address, and then I wrote Archer 2 again. Next to it, I had 50. And it was comma the friend's phone. And I wrote number 50, and then I had friends underscore email Archer 2, and that's what I had, but the table wasn't created. I think I made a mistake somewhere. So then I actually crossed it out, and then I came back to it again.
Got it. So in this case, let's do this. You will be writing that statement. Can you share, and on your SQL window, I'm going to help you on this.
I'm sorry, wait, I thought I shared it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, now I can see it. Okay, let's do this.
I crossed it out and then I went back to it. So
okay, you do not have to cross it. So what do you do for create table? You'll have to say create table. Write this. Create table, and then put your table name after a space. Friend, right? And then now you have to give the field and their description. So put a parenthesis.
No space, right? Or space?
Space doesn't matter. Close the parenthesis. No, close it. Remove this and close it. Okay. Okay. Inside the parenthesis, you write. Okay. What is your first field?
First field is friend.
Friend name, right? Type the word friend name. And then put a space. And then what do you think the data type for this? Bar chart 2, right? Yeah, type bar chart 2. And then what is the size of this friend name? Maximum size? You put like 7. 2 more. So put again, to put the size, you will have to put a set of parentheses again. Starting and closing. Closing. 7 and close it. Okay, put a comma. Okay, so the first field is defined now. You have said, okay, create table friend, and the first field is friend name, first column, and the type is varchar 2, and size is 7. And what is the next field?
Friend address. Friend address.
Friend address. You do the same thing. Friend address.
The document that you sent, I actually haven't received it.
Oh, you didn't receive the document, Oracle document? Okay, I'll be sending it again. Let me. Which document you didn't receive that?
That you sent right now.
Oh, okay. Probably you are not on this email. Let me just forward it to you. 1 second. So yeah, Oracle QA class. Let me. I'll be including you in the forward, and then what is your email address starts with? Yeah, Sharmin. Yeah, I got it. So yeah, I forwarded it to you. You should have it now. Confirm that you have received it, and then open this. Okay, open it.
Okay, so friend's address.
So you have defined a field, friend name, and you put its size, and then you are going to define another field. Yeah, right, friend address.
Space.
Friend address, and then put a space and put its size. What will be the size of the friend address?
Yes.
Would it be
10 or 11.
is it 15 maybe?
You do not put that many. If it is 11, put 12.
Sorry.
No, you'll have to put the data type bar chart 2, and then you'll have to put the size. And then, yeah, and
then close it again.
yeah, and then put another comma. After that, put another comma, and then write the other field. Then bar chart 2.
Chart 2. And then so would this be 50?
Actually, friend phone, how many characters do you have?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
12.
I mean,
So put one more, 13.
12. Okay, so it's
Yeah, 13, and then close the parenthesis and put comma. And do you have another field? Yeah, put it. And then what is the data type? Bar chart 2, and what is the size?
would you do this by character?
Yeah, character again. How many characters do you have there?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15.
Put 16. Okay. Now, do you have another field?
This is it for.
Then you do not have to put any comma. Then can you see the last closing parenthesis? After that, once your statement is done, you'll have to put a semicolon. No. After the, remember that the last parenthesis, you have started it in the beginning before friend name, right? You have closed it there. The last parenthesis, yeah, put your cursor a little bit forward. Yeah, put your right arrow. Click on your right arrow in the keyboard. Yeah, one more time. So here your statement is done. Put a semicolon. The semicolon is after L, yeah. Yeah. So basically your statement is done if you press enter. Can you see your table is created? So you understood like how you need to do it?
Yes.
Okay, good, very good. Now, if you want to see, okay, what type of table is created, what will you write, Nabed?
DESC table name friend. DESC space friend.
Now, can you see, can you explain it, what you are seeing?
See the rows with friend names, address, phone number, email, and then next to it is are the types. And
yeah, go ahead.
Null field, is it supposed to be there, or
Yeah.
have I?
We will discuss about null. It is a field that is there. So we are basically saying that if so you can, you are inputting data into this field, you can input data, you can keep this empty. So by defining null, if you say, we'll be discussing that. If you say not null, you will have to input something there. So that is what it is saying. But the two column, name and type. is reflecting whatever you have defined, right? Now you will be inserting data. The house is created, the shelf is created. Now you are going to put things in the shelf. So what is the statement, Nabed, you use for this purpose? Can you help?
Insert into space into space the table name friend values first parenthesis, then you say budget 2, so we put it everything in the double quotation.
No, remember, insert into friend, right? Before you put values, you will have to put remove the values.
I just put together, that's why.
No, I do not. So I want you to learn it in that way. Put put your starting parenthesis and then write the field's name by separating them by comma. Friend name, comma, friend address, comma, friend phone. Close it and then press enter. And then now you write value. And then start your parenthesis. Remember, you didn't put any semicolon yet. That means you are writing the same statement. Okay. Now put your values. So what is the first friend name?
John.
Yeah. John is alphanumeric, right? Bharchar.
Yep.
Bharchar will always be in single quotation.
Inside the double quotation.
Yeah. Put single quotation. Yeah. And inside that single quote, not this double quotation. If you just click on that double quotation, yeah. Now you write John. Close the quotation one more time. Put comma. So John is there, right? And then put comma. Input the second address, friend address. For
quotation.
Mm-hmm.
Quotation.
Okay.
First Avenue.
Comma and go for the next field.
Budget 2, so under more quotation.
So that's a number.
It's a budget, so it's quotation.
Yeah, there's a quotation here.
Yeah. If your field is bar chart 2, it will be in the quotation.
So yeah, this one has quotation and then I type in the number
Yeah.
with the characters.
Yeah.
So
only the reason Tanmay is the semicolon, that's why.
What is that semicolon?
What is that things called the middle?
It's a dash.
Only the reason we using dash, that's why it's bar chart 2.
Bar chart 2, yeah, that is correct.
close the parentheses with the semicolon.
Yeah.
Parenthesis.
And put semicolon. Press enter. So there is a problem here. Let's see. Invalid identifier. Right? Can you see? Yeah. So what you do if you make mistake, press up arrow one more time and correct it. Press your left arrow and go there.
And just put hand, I think friend. Enter. Then you put up arrow. Again.
No, down arrow. Yeah.
Down arrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now.
Down arrow.
Yeah. So yeah.
There you go.
One more. Now press up arrow.
Yeah, I'm going to press up arrow. It goes on description, create table.
Keep going. Okay, then
down
press
arrow.
up arrow. Oh, down arrow. In this. Yeah, down arrow.
Create table, description, insert, values.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Now press enter. Right. Now if you select, if you want to view if the data is input correctly, you will do select star from friend. Select star from friend means bring everything whatever you have in this table for view. Star from semicolon. Semicolon, you have to give semicolon, remember. Every statement will be terminated with semicolon. Press enter now. Now can you see that the table is there and the first row is there in the table. Can you see that? Now how will you input the second row? Again press up arrow. One more time. One more. Yeah. Yeah. Press enter. And then press down arrow once. Now just change the value. So I'll be pausing my recordings. You will be doing the same thing. So definitely you will be doing more practice, but so far you have successfully created the table and insert data into it, and then you have executed select statement, right? Okay. Now let's go back to Naved. Naved, can you share? And Naved, like you have input the data correct way, but while inputting data, Naved has made some mistake. We are going to learn how we can update those data.
I have a question. Question is, so this right here, would you call this a query, or this is just creating?
This is creating. Remember, creating is a query, but if you look at the document, right, on the document, it is a data manipulation language. We are creating table, right? And then when you are inserting, uh, so one is you when you are creating table data manipulation language, and then we have this is data definition language when you are creating table, and then when you are inserting data, this is a data manipulation language, right? So again, all of these are queries.
Just wanted to make sure. And so my question is, when inserting create table, I don't know if you can see my cursor.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. So when inserting create table friend's name. So for instance, if our friend's phone number, if it were all number instead of the dash character, instead of voucher, I would write a number.
Number, right? And in the parentheses, you will say how many digits.
So for number, I wouldn't need to write 2 like I have on voucher.
No.
So it's number, parentheses, and then for instance, I think here it'll be 10 numbers.
So yeah, so if it is only mobile number without any dashes, then definitely it will be 10 characters. You'll be putting numbers.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, and let's say that if the phone number has a space, what will happen?
Be a character, so that'll be voucher.
That will be also voucher. Yeah, you are right. Any further question?
But I'll be back in a few minutes. I share the screen.
I also said one thing, like whatever she write, so like she can copy it, the mark and copy, so it will create it the next time, so she can follow. Just show her the copy and make it look great.
The creatable statement that you have written, right? You can keep it as a record, and also that this creatable statement is in the document as well. The Oracle soft copy that I sent, it is there as well.
I'm sorry, Naman, you were saying copying it, like you mean?
Like whatever you write down here, you can click on the left on the corner here, the SQL class. There's a blue and white sign all the way in the corner.
This?
Yeah.
Yes. Click on it, and you come here to edit, and you select
select all and
again go over there, the two side, and then you come edit, and open a notepad start button. Just open and paste it here. Just Control B here, and then you save it file, save it. So the next time when you make a like any table like a problem, you can come up here and see what's the like the things you're missing or something. So you just have a reference to for better understanding. Also, you can see the like the YouTube video that Tomobai sent us to the by the email, but this is gonna be stop and see stop, and so it's better to understand using the notepad to better understand.
Right, I think Tanvir bhai used a notepad. I think on the second video. I think.
Yeah, I have written the statement in notepad, and then from there I copied it here and pasted and executed it.
The video Tanvir like the like a few seconds, so you can press like you pause and then you can see what's the things it's a better understanding to check the notepad. You make a notepad the better understanding.
Okay, thank you. Zoe, I'll be back in
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
Sure. All right. So Nabed, if you go there, do this. Let's do this update statement. Yeah. So remember this update statement, right? You write update and then table name. No, remove
Update
and table name. Okay, friend, right? And then go to the next line. I'm just line by line so that you can understand easily.
set
Now, what is the column name that you need to update?
address.
So write friend address and put equal to, put the new value.
Put like semicolon.
Put the new value. So now avenue put E. Okay. Now you do not want to update each of it. You want to update only the third row for lemon, right? You will have to specifically say press enter and put where friend name equal to lemon. lemon বানানটা তুমি কিভাবে লিখছো এখানে দেখো।
Okay.
Then at the end put a semicolon. Press enter.
So this update friend like friend table থেকে নিতেছি set friend address address থেকে the whatever I change then where friend name
you have to put a specific like which one you want to update.
I just need another.
Now can you execute the query to see if it is correct?
Yes.
Correct, right? If you want to no, hold on, you do not have to write it every time. Press up arrow. Up arrow, press enter, press down arrow. Correct the
An email. And I just need to test3is gmail.com. Gmail. And then enter. Friend email.
No, where you have to the name is correct. Put the
Yeah, name is correct. Yes. Let me fix my other one, I guess.
The other day, I think you said lowercase and uppercase letters, it really doesn't affect the table, right?
Yeah. But remember this data that you are putting in the quotation. Say that he is putting test6 at yahoo.com in the quotation. Whatever you put in the quotation, you will have to match whatever is there. But when you are, let's say, update friend, if you put U uppercase, F uppercase, or R lowercase, it doesn't matter. But can you see in line number 2, after equal to -6, it matters. You'll have to match it. Whatever is in the quotation, that let's say if you put K, if you put that M uppercase, right, then it will not work. Can you didn't get it? Okay. Now, do you need to update anything else?
But I just want to forget what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So let's say that so if you
So you change the here like the friend name Karim. I know you using the first column. If I using the second column like the friend address, where friend address is equal to
yeah. So can you see you still have a mistake? You have wrong data in RD avenue, right? Write the query, and do not execute it. Let me know. I want to explain something to you and Sharmin. So write it and then let me explain it and then you execute. Sharmin, can you see that he is in the 4th record? Instead of 4th avenue, he has written RD. So now he is updating friend, and which field he need to update is friend address, right? So he is putting, okay, set friend address equal to, no, you again, no, Naved. So put some, so hold on. So here, write something, something, anything, write anything.
Next page, like next step.
Yeah. So here is the thing, man. You did something. Now can you see you have executed that query probably? Can you bring the data again? Select star from friend. Enter. Okay, everything is still good. Okay. Now write the query. Yeah, update one. Yeah. Now what do you need to update? Tell me what does he need to update?
Address, the fourth one, Karim's address.
What he will be writing? Set. And then set friend address equal to address equal to, and then put the right address.
Equal to, or is it dash?
Equal to.
Which one I need to update?
So Karim. Yeah. Put avenue and then press enter. And then where? Sharmin, can you see how we are updating a specific row? We are putting condition where name equal to name equal to what? Which field you want to update? Karim's field, right? Put that M uppercase and then put a semicolon. Now you execute it. Now, Sharmin, how many rows updated?
I barely can see it, but I think it says it's very small on the screen. Does it say 0 or 4? I can't really tell.
It says 0. Why it was not able to update?
The uppercase M, but for the table, we have Karim's name as
lowercase m, right?
Yeah, lowercase.
Now does it make sense, like what I mean by whatever you have in the quotation, it will have to be the right case, right?
So I also have another question. You keep on saying equal to. Is Lavenda using equal to or a dash?
Equal to.
I think the screen you can push the middle one, so it will make bigger.
Double click on the middle of the screen and then it will be bigger for you, Sharmin. Or let's do this, Nabet. Can you go to your on the top? No. Do this. Can you see that SQL icon on top? Click on this. Yeah. Click on this, and then can you see the properties? Click on properties, and then here you'll see font. Click on the font. Yeah, font, and then font, make it bigger. Size, make the size, let's say, instead of make it, no, don't make it so much bigger. Yeah, 20, and click OK. Okay. Now, Sharmin, is it a little bit more viewable to you?
Very clear now.
Okay. So that is like, now you have learned update statement, right? So if you have make a mistake in data, you can update by putting update and where statement. So I will keep go ahead.
Make a mistake, you have to write update and then space the name of the table, I believe. And you will hit enter and then so the like Navin Pyramid, we set. So the numbers it does come automatically. So we set.
Yeah. And then, this number 1, 2, 3. Now, but if you go to your black screen again, can you see this in the update statement, right?
I can show you another one. There's like name on Third Avenue. I put test 2 is supposed to be test 3. So while I'm using, and one more time, like the update the friend, because the friend is the table name. Update friend, I want to update the table, and then I put enter, and I'm using set statement set friend email because I used to update test 3 lemon test. It's supposed to be 3. I put 2. So update friend email is equal to, let's put the correct one, test. It's the right one. I try to change and then I put.
Is it Yahoo? Is it Yahoo or Gmail?
That's the Gmail. So I can go on. So I can maybe put enter again. Update friend. That's the Gmail. Right one I want, and then I put enter. I say where friend name, because I can use any of one. So my friend name or friend address.
Yeah, you can put any of it.
You wanna use not Korean. You wanna use the friend name because I wanna change the statement. So now you see want to create updated. So now I go select statement friend. Now you see test 3. gmail.com.
Any further question, guys? Okay. Okay. So the I'm going to send more manual testing related documents that we have today, and I already sent two of these database SQL2 and SQL3. You try to execute this query, create these tables, and there are some queries. See if you can answer those queries. If you can do that, send me the answers. Otherwise, make sure that before our next class, these tables are created. Okay.
Okay.
So there are some questions that you have to answer. If you cannot answer the question, leave it now, but make sure that the tables are created and the data are correct in the table. All right, guys. So that will be all for today. I'll be sending you the recording and few other documents. So look out for my email, and other than that, we'll be talking on coming.
Okay, and I'll be sending you the homework sometimes tonight or either tomorrow. Actually, আপু উমরাতে যাচ্ছে, so most likely আপুর সাথে গিয়ে থাকবো তো আজকে রাতে। আপনাকে আজকে কালকের মধ্যে ইনশাআল্লাহ পাঠিয়ে দেবো ভাইয়া।
Sure, bye. No problem. All right. Let me know if you have any questions, and keep your study up to date, so that we are on the same speed, right, everyone?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.